Okay, we're back for episode 2 of our design series. Let's make your SamCart page look great and make you some money in the process. Now let's assume that you have some great copy or decent copy and decent headlines. How do we take it to the next level? And how do we avoid the mistakes that are killing your conversion rates? We have our lead designer, Marie, back to help make our copywriting jump off the page. Marie will kick us off with the first lesson.
All right, so number one rule, if you're trying to make your headline stand out, is make sure that your headline is legible. Make sure that your body copy is legible. And there's a couple of things to keep in mind with that. One is you want to make sure that the background is not clashing with your text. So those colors can't be too close. You want to make sure that if your background is light, your text is nice and dark, because people aren't going to be able to read anything if they can't see the text. So that's design principle number one, is make sure that the contrast is there.
One common mistake that a lot of pages make is that their text isn't legible. It's either too small or the font choice is way wrong. Say it's like a cursive font. If you want someone to actually read your headlines, then make it bigger. Marie talks about using 16 to 18 point font for your body paragraph. So this means that your headline should be roughly 3 times the size of your body paragraph. And I mean, that's roughly, it's just all, you gotta go by feel on this one.
And remember, people might be looking at your page on a desktop, but they might also be looking at it on a mobile screen. So choosing font sizes that work well on both is really important. So these days, most people tend to stick to 16 to 18 point fonts as their base body copy font size. And when it comes to headlines, you might have a few different sizes of headlines that you use for different reasons, but you don't want the headline to be too much bigger than your body copy. Typescale is a great reference that I use all the time. It's got the entire Google font library in there, so you can choose the font that matches the font that you're using in your SamCart template, and you can see what different sizes look like in that font and what headlines look best to you, because again, it mostly comes down to your own personal preference at the end.
Now let's open up a can of worms and talk about fonts. SamCart has access to Google Fonts, which means the choice is almost endless. Marie has the answers here.
So rule number one is legibility is most important. You want to make sure that people can read your headlines. And I know that those fancy cursive fonts are really pretty. And sometimes, you've got a very beautiful product you want to pair that cursive font with, but if you can't read the headline, it doesn't do anyone any good. And so I would say stick with fonts that are easy to read and try not to go crazy with the typefaces. There are so many to choose from, but try to stick to just 1 or 2 that look really well together and keep that consistent throughout the page. So SamCart makes it really easy to keep those fonts consistent across your entire page. You just go to settings and then from there go to fonts, and you can change that headline font and the content font, and it'll change it across your entire page. Make it very easy, very seamless.
And here's a good rule of thumb with choosing fonts for your SamCart page. Choose 2 fonts for your entire page. 1 font for your headlines and buttons, and 1 font for your body paragraphs. That's it for this episode. If you have your page built and you're ready to start using Facebook ads, then watch this video right here. And if you're launching an online course, then you might want to watch these tutorials right here. I'm Jordan Anderson. Be sure to subscribe right down here to the SamCart YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next episode.